What up, y'all? It's Decode Dating, and I'm back with another video. Y'all can tell by the title, right? You can tell by the title. Pander and simp. These two things mess up the dating market, you know? As far as feminists also, but that's a whole nother topic. This is solely for the men who are pandering and simping, okay? So it's funny how I came up with this whole decode dating thing that I do now, especially my Instagram. I remember a couple years back, I was with one of my exes. I was in the laundromat with her, and I was talking about dating and relationships. And I said, "Yo, I'm about to make a Instagram, and then I'm about to tell women like, yo, you're everything. You're the goddess. We're gonna worship the ground you walk on. Men should pay for everything." And I said, "I'm just gonna pander." And she looked at me. She said, "You know you're not like that." And I laughed and I said, "You're damn right. You know I'm not like that. That's not in my blood to pander. I've done simping before. I can't lie. Most men who are inexperienced tend to simp in the beginning. I've done that. It's cool. But pandering is something that is just awfully just repulsive. It's disgusting. All right. Because it's like a grift. Like you're doing it because you know women are easy to sell to. The saying goes, you lie, women buy. It's the easiest thing. That's the truth. It's not just an opinion. They just buy stupid shit if you could know how to market to them properly. So, like I said, you can tell by the title, pander and simp, right? Most men have definitely simped before, but I don't think a lot of men like to pander. It's kind of, I mean, you kind of, two things could be true at once. You could be simping and pandering at the same time. But we're going to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to get to the breakdown of what pandering and simping is. So, pandering is doing something just to please others, often in a way that is insincere or manipulative. So we know that most dudes that get online and want to sell something, they typically either use a beautiful woman to get them in, or they lie to women by telling whatever they need to hear. And it's easy. Simping now, someone who is excessively submissive, usually a man, or overly attentive to someone they're attracted to, trying too hard to win someone over. Simping is just god awful disgusting. Um, I could think back to certain days where it's like, men were, well, I would just say me, was highly attracted to a woman. And I would just do whatever she tells me to do. I was definitely simping in a relationship before where I was putting her needs before mine. And it's not like, well, she was sick or anything like that, with like, you know, a crazy disease or a cold or a flu or anything like that, where I was putting my things aside to make her happier. And I even said that. Fellas, the same way she meets you and the same way she's attracted to you. I'm not only talking about looks, I'm talking about personalities and things that you're doing. Do not change. I've changed to please women. And guess where that got me? Left. They leave. They understand that if they can test your masculinity and you fail and you fold under pressure and listen to what they say, they know deep down you can't lead them to do anything. It's over. Pack it up, bro. Go somewhere else. So pandering is doing something just to please other, often in a manipulative way, basically just lying to finesse. Simping is overly submissive, especially of a man. You're just trying too hard to win the person over. It's disgusting. So I'm gonna explain to you why it's a poison inside the dating market. Okay. Now, just like feminists who get into the dating market and oversaturate that bullshit, talking about women are equal to men and women can do what men can do and all this other stupid shit. This is similar to it, pandering and simping, because now what you're doing is you're telling women something that is not true. You're selling false dreams and false hope to these women, and they're eating it up. And then you get paid for it because all you have to do is write a book, and the title could be why men should worship women, and women are gonna buy that shit and think that it's true because now you fucking fooled them, and now they start walking with their fucking shoulders high and their head high, like, yes, worship the ground I walk on. You know who they're not gonna do it to? Niggas like me, because I ain't falling for none of that bullshit at all. I think it's stupid. I think it's a poison to the dating market. It makes men lose their positioning, especially if a woman that they're attracted to thinks this is okay, and it is not. Like I said, examples. I was definitely I definitely simped before, you know. I think most men who, you know, tend to start dating or are new to the game, you see a lot of these NBA, NFL players get caught up with women. Usually the older women go for the younger guys because they're naive, and they just throw pussy at them, and it's easy. And I'm not gonna say it, like Drea isn't a good example. She got with Jalen Green, and they're like 20 years apart. But let it the shoe be on the other foot. A man be 20 years older than a woman. Oh my God, he's trying to groom her. But when women do it, get the coin, sis, and they be doing this clockage shit. All that shit is bullshit, bro. Men, you gotta understand that you dictate the terms. She wants the ring from you. She wants to hold your last name. You gotta understand you are the prize. You're the leader. Usually panderers who get in and say, oh, men should not go 50-50. Now, I'm a firm believer that men should strive to want to provide 100%, but let's be real. Most men cannot do that. How many billionaires are in the world? About 1,000. And how many millionaires? Maybe 100,000. And let's talk about in America, because that's where the demographic of people are. Let's be real. Most of them, if not married, most of them just want to have a bachelor lifestyle. So what makes you think that a woman coming in your life who's a dime a dozen and you're a multimillionaire, that you can't, if she's not following your program, you just get another one? And this is what happens when pandering and simping comes into play. Now, the men with money who are inexperienced with women will listen to a stupid fool or listen to a woman who got this indoctrination from panderers and simps, and then they'll tell the man, oh, you should do this for me, or you should pay all my... No. Fuck no. Nip that shit in the butt. If anything, the more money a man obtains in status, the less he should be tolerable of women's behavior. If a woman disrespects you, instantly cut off. Don't waste your time and say, oh, maybe she can change or isn't. No, she knew better. She knew the fuck better. She knew exactly what she was doing. Just like how a woman goes into a job that she strives so hard. Say she went to, let's not even say 4 years of college. Just say she did 6 years of college or 8 years of college, and she really wanted this job, and you're the prestigious law firm. And you say, oh, I'm hiring candidates for this position at the job. And they come, guess what they have? Their resume, they dressed appropriately, they come on time, they're punctual, they're polite, they're pleasant. They try to sell themselves to you. Why the fuck would you want to sell yourself to a woman and you have all this fucking money? And you earned everything. Your ego should tell you, like, no, I'm the one that you want to. It's not the other way around. I could get a million other women. If you want me, show me why you want me. Men fucked up the game when they started pandering. You know who another panderer? Steve Harvey. When he wrote that book, something about act like a lady, think like a man. No, bro. What is niggas doing, bro? What's that other dude's name? Something Jackson. When he was telling women a whole bunch of stuff and women this, women that, and then he cheating on his wife. The main person I want to talk about, and I'm gonna put the clip in the video, is this guy.
Standards too high, or is the modern man just performing too low? Now we have to understand we have a lot of boys trapped in men's bodies because they run after pleasure rather than responsibility. To have a woman is a full-blown responsibility from the bottom of her feet to the top of her head. We have to understand it's not just financial, it's also mental.
That $250,000 goes into an account that I have no access to, only her, but she has every Her name is on every bank account that I have and every business that I own. Why? Because again, this is my gift from God.
It's also emotional. It's also spiritual. So to be truthful, the men nowadays are no longer men because a lot of men are dealing with mommy issues and they're not looking for women to marry and love on. They're looking for women to take care of them.
Do you think that women are less submissive now compared to back in the day?
No. I think men are not worthy of submission.
What the fuck?
That's what it is. It's not women. If you step into a woman's life and change not just financially, but everything, what do you think is going to happen? But if you're not doing your responsibility or handling your responsibility, what do you think is going to happen? Now, it's science behind this because I know a lot of people be like, oh, Yada's just, he's just simping. He's just,
Right.
Pandering to women. But no, when you understand a woman's nervous system and she dwells better in the parasympathetic nervous system and she needs oxytocins to feed this nervous system, she becomes softer, she becomes more submissive, she becomes stable because her nervous system is regulating herself. She's not going to mess that up.
Oh, really now? Women don't mess shit up? Okay.
Boys go 50-50, men go 100%. Women that agree on going 50-50 are women that never had a real man.
That's a fact. They can't miss what they never had. They can't miss it. They can't even understand it. A man providing, and then when I say 100%, I'm not just talking about financial.
Right.
I'm talking about
Beta.
Now that y'all seen that video and understand how foolish it is to simp, and you see my rebuttal to everything, or and pander, it's crazy. Mind you, that same man has 2 wives. There's allegations. I don't know how true this is. I got to do research on it. That he beat his ex-girlfriend up or something like that, and he went to jail for it. These same dudes who saying all this bullshit are the ones who's doing the worst to women. A person, and I remember I heard this before. If you have a bunch of women agreeing with you, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong if you have a bunch of women agreeing, because you're not calling out their bullshit. This is why when I made my Decode Dating I don't pander to nobody, men or women. I hold men accountable just like I hold women accountable. The difference between the two is when I hold men accountable, most of them agree. Most of them understand that, damn, the burden of a performance is on us. We got to strive to be better and we have to do this, right? The moment I call women out on their shitty behavior, oh, you hate women, you don't like, and then they throw the race card in. Oh, you hate black women, your mama black. What the fuck does that have to do with this woman acting like a bitch? You act like a bitch, you're going to get called out. You acting like a whore, you're going to get called out. Even though sometimes I don't like calling out whores because we do need whores. It's the balance of the world. But if I can stop a woman from being a whore, I'm going to do just that. So I don't like pandering because it's icky. And I'm not a grifter. I'm not trying to come on here to make a bunch of money. I want to come out here and speak facts. Facts over feelings. I don't want to appease to your ego to make you feel all better and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell a man of a prize if he's a bum. You're not the prize, bro. You're worth nothing, bro. You're disposable. At the end of the day, I'm more cruel on men than I am on women. So pandering and simping is pandering is a lucrative business. So I understand why men come out and do it. It's easy to sell to women. You lie, women buy. It's easy, right? Like I said before in the other clip that I showed, that men fall in love with what they see, women fall in love with what they hear. This is why men lie and women wear makeup. Like, it's all a facade. Like, you're trying to get somebody, so you're going to do what it takes to get them. So pandering is easy. You get the whole flock of the birds coming to you because they love what you're saying to them. And then you have a woman in your corner and you're showing them, oh yeah, do this. $250,000. Like, let's be real. Most dudes in America, let's say the world, don't have $250K to be doing that shit. So it's easy for him to do that. And like I said before, mind you, this guy has 2 wives. Most women don't want to share their man. They will, however, if the price is right, but most men can't do that. So what he's saying is literally a contradiction to what he's doing. So it's like, He's telling y'all one thing and doing the other, you know? And all these dudes that come out and plaster that all over their social media, they're selling something. I'm not saying it's a course, but maybe a book or maybe merchandise. It's easy to do that. I can't do that because I can't fake the funk. I'll tell you this for a fact. Anybody watching this YouTube video, see me in person, I'm the same making this video and the same off camera. There's a dude that me and him cool now. Shout out to Reem. He seen me. I remember in Manhattan because I'm from Brooklyn, on Delancey Street. If y'all know, y'all know. On one of the back blocks, and this is when I only had 7,500 followers on Instagram. Only 7K. I'm thinking I'm a nobody. But when I walked by, I had a shorty with me at the time, some woman I was, dating at the time. Wasn't in a relationship, just dating. Young, beautiful woman, model type of chick, black, and we was leaving the food spot because we just got massages and everything. And I'm walking down the block, and I heard a dude say, "Yo, I know you." So I'm thinking I'm about to fight. I'm like, "Shit, damn, niggas about to try to rob me or some shit." And he was like, "Nah, I know you." I'm like, "You know me?" He said, "Yeah, you Decode Dating, right?" I said, "Oh shit." At 7,000 subscribers, 7,000 followers on Instagram. I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." And then he helped. This is social proof. He looked at Shorty. He said, "Yo, you know who you with? Yo, this dude is nice. This dude is funny. This, that, and the third, and stuff like." Yo, he said, "This is your girl." I said, "Nah." He said, "Yo, you better get with him. Like he lit." Like him doing that, I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So I'm saying that to say this, right? He met me regular, and I talk shit on Instagram a lot of the time, right? But he's seen how I move, and I don't like to boast and brag like the type of women I get on social media. You gonna see me. Those who know, you know. I'm really Himothy. You know what I'm saying? Like I will have a beautiful woman with me most of the time you see me on the street, right? Whether it's my girl or a woman that I'm dating. I don't like to be caught outside like. So I'm saying that to say this. He seen me not on Instagram, but in person. He's like, nah, this dude says what he says and means what he says. He's walking with a beautiful woman right now in Manhattan. Who knew? And then now I bring him on the podcast and stuff like that. Now me and him rocking together. So I want men to understand pandering is a long, lonely road at the end of the day because when you get exposed, all your credibility goes out the window. You know, it's just like, yo, I thought you was that guy, but you're not. And women are gonna fall for this bullshit. They're gonna eat this shit up, thinking like, oh yeah, all men should be. No, nah, hell, you got the wrong one. And this is what I love about me now that the mindset I have now. I see the difference from me simping. I ain't pander. I ain't never do that. But from me simping, I see the difference. It's like, Zach, you don't gotta understand your value as a man. Understand what you have. And don't let women walk all over you. Don't do that. And I'm not saying women should let a man walk all over them, but y'all gotta come mutual respect. It's not like, oh, I'm better than fuck out of here. No, you not. And leave that shit over there. The last dude you mess with, go back to him if you think I'm gonna let that shit rock. Fuck no. Hell no. So it's detrimental to men to pander and to simp. I think the worst thing a man can do is simp. Pandering, you could maybe make some money from it. I don't advise it though. You know, don't fake the funk. If that's not you, don't do it. You know, pandering is for business purposes. That's how I see it. Simping is just you're just a weak man. Like you say yes to anything. It's a horrible deal. Trust me. You don't get nothing out of it. You just get women who use and abuse you and kick you to the fucking curb at the end of the day. So pandering is disgusting. Simping is disgusting. Men should not do that. Women should identify and understand men who come out and pander, they're lying to you. Because most men don't want to fucking do that shit. So for what this guy was saying, most men can't do that shit. This whole 50-50, bitch, shut up and listen, bro. If your man going to work, and even if it's 60-40 or 70-30, bitch, you got to contribute. Because we ain't multi-millionaires. Like, I hate when women think that. It's all a facade. You see what you see online. You think, oh, well, this dude just bought his girl a car and 1,000 flowers. I better expect that from my man. Your man works at Walmart, bro. Your man is construction worker, or at least a laborer. The niggas is making 40, 50, 60K a year. These are average men. And you telling him, oh, he gotta give me an allowance of 1,000 a week or 5,000. Where y'all getting these numbers from? And then y'all leave the man because the man isn't at the spot that you want him to be. You don't stay and get with a man who has all the money, glitz and glam. You get with him, he fuck you, and then you're part of his rotation. But then you wanted full monogamy. Either you want your bills paid and love and no love and get used, or you want you to go half and half, or even less than half, because I don't understand how women don't want to go 50-50. So you rather pay 100% by yourself, especially if a man is loving and caring and protecting. You don't want that. Let's just say, let's do the math real quick. Let's just say I live in New York, so it's expensive. You have a 1 bedroom, right? And let's just say it's 2,000. And then you have your man, but your man was like, yo, either you come with me or I go with you. Or just y'all get a place together. And y'all say y'all gonna split the rent down the middle, 1,000, 1,000. You don't want to do that? I don't understand. And then women say it's a partnership. Fuck all that partnership bullshit. Y'all don't even want to contribute nothing. If you can work and you're an able-bodied woman, cool. If you're not and you want your man to make all the money, you're gonna do whatever the fuck he tells you to do. He gonna get pussy whenever he want from you. You gonna cook his food anytime he wants you to. If he tells you clean up, trust and believe. If he's watching the game and he says, "Babe, I'm hungry," you gotta make that plate. Get him his beer or water or juice, whatever he wants. You gonna get up at the crack of dawn, make his breakfast before he go to work, because that's what you gotta do. People don't want to contribute no more. And this is why men gonna keep lying to y'all, keep pandering and simping to y'all, and y'all gonna end up with shitty ass men. But let me not continue this video too long because it's kind of getting irritated. Y'all see in that video, the clip that I post, how men are easy lying to these women and selling fucking dreams. Men, stop pandering, stop simping. It's not good for society. Y'all making men weak. And women gonna fucking grow up and teach especially if they're a single mom and you have a boy, they're gonna grow up and teach their fucking son to worship women. And this cycle's gonna fucking continue. It's gonna continue. I need to stop this shit.